Hello students, good morning. Now let's begin our today's topic, that is properties of bases. Among properties of bases, first here I have written some physical properties. First one children here, bases are bitter to taste. Second is soapy to touch. Means when you will touch potassium or sodium hydroxide, and if you want to wash your hand, you need more and more amount of water, because what is a soap? Soap is nothing. It is sodium or potassium salt of higher fatty acids, or you can say alkalis reacts with oil present in our body and forming soaps. So that's why they are slippery in nature. Third point, you can see a strong electrolytes. The strong bases are strong electrolytes, but not a weak base. Mainly it is strong alkali. Now they are slightly corrosive in nature also. And at last, this is the most important point, reaction with indicator, means action with indicator. They change the color of indicators, like when we using red litmus solution, it will turn to blue. When we taking methyl orange, which is of orange color, it turns to yellow. And phenolphthalein, this phenolphthalein, you know that it is of colorless nature, it turns to pink. So these all are the physical properties. Now students, we will discuss the chemical properties of bases. Among the chemical properties, one is very common that you already knowing, that is neutralization reaction. Means when an acid reacts with base, gives rise to the formation of salt and water. So for this, I am not going to write the typical reaction. You knowing this, I am just giving one example. First is neutralization. Neutralization reaction. Neutralization reaction in this acid plus base, in return we getting salt plus water. Example is here HCl plus NaOH. What we will get in return? NaCl plus H2O. Second is students, when an alkali or base reacts with CO2 present in our atmosphere, when an alkali or base reacts with CO2 present in our atmosphere, they forming their carbonates, and for this we have to take a strong alkali plus CO2, and in return we getting carbonate plus water. So strong alkali, either we can use NaOH or KOH, anyone, plus CO2 plus CO2. In return we will get Na2CO3 or K2CO3 plus water. And balancing part, again I am reminding you, please take care of the balancing part. Okay students. Now next, when we taking one base, I mean to say they having the tendency to precipitate the insoluble metallic hydroxide when added to the solution of any metallic salt, like when we taking copper sulfate or zinc sulfate or ferric chloride, and when we going to add an alkali to that, then in return what we will get here? We will get another salt plus we will get insoluble metallic hydroxide, and this topic I have already explained during the chapter analytical chemistry. Here we will get zinc hydroxide, and there we will get iron NaCl plus FeOH whole thrice. All these coming in the form of precipitate. Okay, and if we are going to add the alkali in excess amount, then some get dissolved and some remains as precipitate, like these two get dissolved, then we will add here ammonia. In this case ammonium, in this case sodium only. But what about this? It is not going to get dissolved. So now you must have understood that they precipitate as insoluble metallic hydroxide when added to solution of salt of heavy metals. Clear? Now the fourth point is here, ammonium salt plus alkali. Fourth point, ammonium salt plus alkali. And here students, we will get a very important compound which you have to study in your syllabus, that is ammonia. So what we will get here? Salt plus water plus a pungent choking smell gas which turns red litmus to blue. And for this, here I am taking ammonium chloride plus NaOH. And one more condition is here, we must heat it. So after heating, what we will get children? Salt, that is NaCl. What we will get? Water plus ammonia gas. And this ammonia gas having a pungent choking smell. So now I think this point is clear to everyone. Now students, the next properties of chemical properties of bases, and that is means according to your syllabus, mainly these four are the main properties of bases. Rest of the properties that we can do in higher classes. So leave it up to here only. Now we are going to discuss how the basicity or acidity, or you can say acidity and alkalinity of any solution can be measured correctly, accurately. Because with the help of indicators, we know that we can find out the nature of the given substance, either acidic or basic in nature. But accurate measurement, for this accurate measurement, we need something different, and that can be done with the help of hydronium ion concentration. Hydronium ion concentration. Okay, why I'm telling hydronium ion concentration? Just think about water. Water is H2O, and this water, when just water is H2O. So when water after ionization, this water we adding few drops of acid in that, and then what we getting here children? H plus and OH minus ion. And as you know, this is it can't exist independently, that's why it quickly combines with H2O and give rise to the formation of hydronium ion. So this hydronium ion is capable of measuring the strength of the given substance. That's why for testing, test for acidity or alkalinity, for this we need hydronium ion concentration measurement. And for this, a scientist, that is German scientist, he has also given a term, the German scientist, that is Sorensen, the name of a scientist, German scientist. He given a scale. pH, where P means potans. Potans means power. P means potans means power. Means power of hydrogen. pH means power of hydrogen. And he given a pH scale, with the help of which we can find out that the given substance belonging to which category. And this pH scale, actually it is calibrated into 14 parts. This is 7, starting from 0 and reaching up to 14. Okay, so this 7 is for water. This is neutral. This is neutral in nature. After this, when we will reach on this side or on that side, they are representing increase in alkalinity. Or here it is strong base. When it started to move here, reaching here, that is strong acid, and the number is going to increase like this. Understood children? So this is a pH scale. pH scale is used for the measurement of strength of acidic or basic nature of any given substance. This is given by the scientist Sorensen, he has used the pH, where P means potence, means power of hydrogen, and as I told you, by calculating the strength of hydronium ion we can measure this. And here that's all for students, because next video I will explain you it in detail, but for your syllabus it's correct, means from 7 to 14 base, it is neutral, and this is zero acid. We will discuss regarding in detail with some questions in next video. Okay children, thank you.